Today I have Samsung's latest iteration of the Galaxy A0 series, the A03s. It's model A037U, and the U is important here as the United States version of this device is entirely different from every other market. This one has a mildly cracked display. I'll be replacing the display along with the midframe for this device. The very first step should be removing the SIM tray. This will snap when the back panel is removed. No heat mat required here. In typical A0 fashion, these have large wraparound back panels that are held in with plastic clips. A metal pry tool can be inserted in the gap between the screen bezel and the side panel, and light pressure will pop the panel free from the housing. The panel can then be opened like a book, as there is a fingerprint reader ribbon coming out of the power button and going under the top plastic antenna panel. That top panel has 10 identical Phillips screws to remove. No screw map is needed for this phone. The panel has no clear pry points indicated like the ones I usually praise Samsung for having, so I will go for my default point of prying just next to the antenna wire on the right side. Now, I may have said this once or twice, but I'm pretty serious about it. Disconnecting the battery is pretty important. Next, the fingerprint reader can be disconnected and the back panel finally set to the side. Down to the bottom we'll find 8 more of those same screws securing the loudspeaker and lower antenna panel. Again, with no pry point indicators. What's going on, Samsung? Get it together, man. I'll go for the antenna area as usual, and the panel should pop right off. Here's the replacement part. It's a display that's already sealed into a new housing. This is the most cost-effective and factory-like method of a repair. The framed parts tend to only cost a couple more dollars and save lots of time and headache, but there are some small components that will need to be transferred over. After disconnecting the 2 main ribbons running to the logic board, it's free to come out. I leave the antenna connected as they have a tendency to break off the board unexpectedly when unclipped. Not always, but enough that I don't disconnect them anymore. The ear speaker at the top needs to come out to be moved to the new frame. Now the power and volume button flex. This is securely adhered to the frame, and you'll probably need a bit of isopropyl alcohol to remove it. You'll need to be exceptionally careful when prying with your tweezers that ribbon does not rip. The side that it's stuck to also has pretty firm adhesive. Some more alcohol will probably help. The extension ribbon needs to be disconnected from the charging daughter board at the bottom. The extension ribbon is one of the only things holding the mother and daughter board together after a battery came between them. The slim coin style vibration motor needs to be pried out. Just a bit of double-sided tape keeps it stuck down. Over to the heating mat, this battery is firmly planted in the housing and needs a good bit of heat to remove. Drowning it in alcohol will also help the process. Now for some speedy reassembly. Make sure the small components like the ear speaker and vibrate motor are moved over, and be absolutely sure the power and volume flex is already stuck to the new frame before putting the boards back in. Both panels will need to be tightened down, but the fingerprint reader ribbon needs to be connected first since it lays under that top plastic panel. The back panel will be pressed down to the housing with some satisfying popping sounds. It should be fully sealed up. This phone is all fixed up and good to go. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. I guess this would be as good a time as any to announce that thanks to a few subscribers requesting it, I now have a Patreon. I don't really offer anything special just yet, but I'm hoping some of you can give me ideas on what would make it worth becoming a patron of the channel. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time.